Hi, I wanted to make a video explaining how I got into this situation because it's an interesting story. Definitely not one I think I'm going to be able to wind down into a minute and a half. So basically, it started in 2011. Something kind of big happened in my life that thankfully I've overcome. But there were a lot of residual effects from that kind of screwed me up. I don't want to get into exactly what happened in 2011 because it's in the past, it's whatever, but it was a traumatic event. Definitely caused some PTSD. But I was unaware that it was PTSD for a long time. I thought it was just, oh, I'm just stressed out, oh, I'm just depressed, I'm just anxious, whatever. Because I've had issues with depression and anxiety since I was a teenager, and I'm 37 now, so it's my whole life pretty much, so it's like this is nothing new, and I'm thinking, okay, it was just something that stressed me out enough to really put a damper on my life. I never realized that it was actually PTSD until people were like, the way that you're describing things sounds like a little bit more than just, depression, anxiety. So I talked to my therapist about it, and sure enough, there's just never anything I even realized was that bad. I'm not trying to minimize my experience. I'm just saying that I just didn't really think about it and went, oh no, that's not PTSD. So anyway, the PTSD led to irritable bowel syndrome. That's fun. For anyone who has that, I'm so sorry. It is the worst thing ever. Might see it shortened as IBS in places. Usually what we call it, but yeah, if you know kind of thing. But that has plagued my life since 3 days after the traumatic event happened. I got it, and again, it was one of those, I think I'm just under a lot of stress, which is why my stomach is acting a little weird, whatever. I didn't realize it was an actual condition. I just kind of thought, it'll go away, and it didn't go away. And then even after all my stress kind of died down, it still didn't go away. And on top of that, so I had the PTSD and the IBS, and they were working against me constantly. It was like I was constantly paranoid that this bad event was going to happen again, no matter what happened. So I isolated myself. I isolated from friends that I had, even some family members. And I didn't really mean to. It just happened. It was kind of like, if I couldn't trust you 110%, you were out. And that's all it was to it. I realized I had a bit of an issue going on when people were like, oh, you should come see me. And these are people that live only 4 hours away from me or something. And I'm just like, yeah, sure. It's not going to happen. I can't make it down there. Just the thought of going there was like, that's so far away. It's so far away from where I live. And this is coming from a girl who used to travel all the time. I've been to 25 out of the 50 states. I've been to Canada 3 times. There were so many other places I wanted to go. There's so many things I wanted to do. And then it just never happened. And I'm just like, just the idea of going to, I live in upstate New York, and just the idea of going to Long Island or even New York City was like, oh my God, no, we can't do that. It's uncharted territory or something, but I've been there before too. So this is nothing new to me. It's just unfamiliar. And I started just going towards familiar places. So that was just my area, and that's it. And so I dug myself basically into a hole, and I didn't even realize I was doing it. It was just, to me, it was, I'm just not comfortable with that anymore. It's no big deal. I didn't realize this was agoraphobia. You're seeing a trend here? It's like, this is going on with me. I didn't realize it was this. This is going on with me. I didn't realize it was this. The same thing. Every time. It was just, and in not knowing, I didn't stop it because maybe I was in denial. I can't really tell you. I don't know. I think with the PTSD, I was in denial because even when people were telling me, no, it's not that bad. It's not PTSD. Me, PTSD? No. And even now, I'm kind of glad I was doing that for a while, because even now there's a lot of people that don't believe that people, just regular everyday people, can have PTSD. A lot of people attribute it to the military. And it's not just people in the military who can have it. Anyone can. It all depends on your state of mind and what you've witnessed or what you've gone through. That is enough. But anyway. So, it really dawned on me that I was heading down kind of a dark path. That's the only way I can really put it. When I was living at one of my old apartments. I say one of because there's been a couple. And I decided, I'm like, oh, no, that's not going to happen. We're not going to do this. So I started going out, because I was buying a lot of groceries on, like, Amazon. So I'd just go grocery shopping on Amazon, wait for the delivery to come and put it away. And, of course, I'd only get the essentials when I absolutely needed them. You know, and things that I couldn't buy on Amazon, like milk and stuff like that. Just, you know, obviously, just quick run out to the store and grab it. And I kind of went, okay, wait, this is a problem. I kind of can't do that. So I started going to, I think there was like a Dollar General or something like 2 blocks away from my house. So I started just kind of going up to the kids and being like, hey, I'm going to go to Dollar General, get some snacks, get some stuff that we need, you know, whatever. Because it was a small store. And so I would go there and I would pick up the things that we needed and a couple things that we wanted and, you know, go home. And we made this an almost everyday thing because I refused to let myself fall into this trap. And then Christmas of that year, 2019, I went and I was like, you know what, I'm going to take the kids out to this really big house that has a lot of lights, and I'm going to take them there and they're going to come and see this great house. That went horribly wrong for me because there was a lot of traffic and it was a tiny street. I mean, it's one of those side streets of a side street kind of thing. And so I kind of realized when I saw how many cars were there that this was bad, but I couldn't get out of that situation because there's cars behind me, cars in front of me. I have to go through the line. There's no place to turn around. There's nothing I can do. And so while the kids are just marveling at these lights, I am panicking in the driver's seat and going, I need to get home. Get me home, please. I don't ever want to go anywhere ever again. Oh my God. And after that, I noticed that anytime I went anywhere, I had massive amounts of anxiety that I'd never had before. All because of these stupid Christmas lights. To be fair, there were a lot of things going on at the time, too. It wasn't just the Christmas lights, but it was the traffic on top of already being, you know, partially agoraphobic on top of, you know, it was like a snowball effect. And then anytime I had to do anything, I was just so nervous. And it was impossible. It was unbearable to be in any situation that wasn't home. And then COVID hit. And then we didn't have to go anywhere. We didn't have to do anything. And I went, oh, okay, this is so much better. It's like massive relief because I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to do anything. And all of the work that I had done to make sure I didn't get into this position went right out the window. And if I had known that it was going to end up like this, I would have pushed myself more to even just drive around the block. I know I really couldn't go anywhere at that time because it was COVID, but I could have at least driven somewhere. I could have driven around the block or gone for a walk or done something, and I didn't. And then I moved again, and getting into the car just to get to the apartment, which was only a mile and a half or something away. It was not very far. Getting there was a nightmare. I was panicking. And then I knew while I was sitting in this apartment looking around, I'm going to have to get home. How am I going to get home? Because now I'm panicking. I'm going, I've gotten here. How am I going to get back? And then, of course, I had to drive back to the apartment again. And I basically said, I'm only going there, and I'm not going back to the house to pick up more stuff. So thankfully, I had a lot of people willing to help me. We loaded up the truck. I loaded up my car, and we went there, and I took one trip because I knew I wasn't going to be able to make it back to the house that I'm now back in, my mom's house. I knew I wasn't going to be able to make it back here to get more things. And I figure, okay, I'll just go and pick up the stuff when I'm feeling better. Well, that never happened because I didn't start feeling better. Ever. Because I didn't let myself. So I ended up at that apartment. I ended up falling into a pretty deep depression. A really bad depression. And I didn't even realize I was depressed because I spent a lot of time doing things online. So I play a game Second Life, right? And I ended up basically kind of making Second Life my real life. Not that I wasn't, tending to the things that I needed to in real life, but when I wasn't, Second Life was kind of the focus, because I could go anywhere and do anything I wanted to do while in the game that I couldn't do in real life. And then, in the midst of that, my car broke down, first with a dead battery, then the tires all went flat because it wasn't being driven. A bunch of things. It started getting water in the trunk. We still don't know how. And so my car breaks down. I end up canceling my insurance, taking it off the road, and now I just have a car underneath a tarp in my driveway. So now I don't have a car. I'm not going anywhere anyway. My mom helped me out a lot in that situation, which I'm forever grateful for her. I mean, if the kids wanted to go somewhere, if they had an appointment to go to or something like that, she helped out. She still does. I'm not saying that she doesn't. It's like I'm trying to get through the, exposure therapy and trying to get myself back out there again. Hopefully I can start taking over the things that I'm supposed to be doing. But, so that's how all that came to be. And that depression was pretty bad. And I gained all the weight. I gained all this weight that I have and everything just from being in that depression, because I didn't really do much. I remember I got COVID, and that's kind of what set the depression off, was me actually getting COVID myself. The thing is, I had been so fearful of getting COVID because I'm asthmatic. So I thought, oh my God, if I get COVID, I'm going to die. Like that, I had that in my mind that if I got COVID, I was going to die. And then thankfully I didn't. I mean, I'm still here. I've had COVID twice now and I'm fine. I'm okay. But that was a really real fear that I had, was that I'm going to die if I get COVID. But instead, it killed my spirit. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like, what little determination I may have had to get over what I was dealing with was gone. And I later found out that was something called long COVID, which can actually cause like mental health issues, which is exactly what happened with me. And so, yeah, so really long story, I guess, but that's really that's the gradual decline in my ability to go places. And then, it really dawned on me. It was like, holy crap, now I'm fully agoraphobic. And of course, moving back here was quite the challenge, because not leaving the apartment Jesus, I was there for about 4 years. So not leaving there for 4 years and then suddenly getting into the car and going somewhere was interesting, to say the least. And then I didn't go anywhere again until, well, today. And that was when I posted that vlog that I posted. I didn't want to show my face because I like this kind of lighting. I don't like natural light because I am ashamed of the weight that I've gained through that depression. And I'm currently trying to lose it, and I'm down 20 pounds from, where I was before, but it's not enough. My face is very, and I just don't like it. And in this lighting, you can't see it as much, whereas in the natural lighting, where it's outside in the sunlight and everything, you can see my double chin, you can see my cheeks are all poofy. So that's why I covered my face in that video. And I don't in these, because I'm not afraid to show my face. It's not a problem. I just don't like showing my face in those conditions. It's a little bit different. And I know a lot of people will just be like, oh no, it's fine. We understand why you're in the position you're in, why you are the way you are. It doesn't matter to me. I don't like why I look this way. I'm so upset that I let myself get to that point that it bothers me a lot. So now I'm just working on it. That's the story about how I essentially became agoraphobic. And honestly, my goal now is really just to be able to drive anywhere in this area, in my local area, because thankfully I live in a suburban area, so it's not like anything is too far. I don't live in a big city, but I don't live in a rural area. If I was rural, my life would be a nightmare being agoraphobic, but it's not like that, so I'm good. But my issue is I don't think I'm ever going to be able to travel again. And I mean, my goal is to travel again, of course. I would love to. I don't think I've actually traveled out of this area since and I think 2014 is and I drove an hour away to get the car that I, essentially ruined by not driving it. But I still have the car. We're actually planning on seeing what we can do with it and seeing if it is salvageable, drivable, whatever. hoping. And if it's not, then my mom's looking into getting a new car, and when she does, she'll just trade in mine, and I'll take hers, which is the one I've been driving anyway. And if it is salvageable, then I would prefer to keep mine. If anyone is wondering why I moved back in with my mother at 37 years old, it's because she had cancer. And we were worried. It was a very survivable, very treatable and survivable cancer, but there's always that fear. So my sister and I moved back in with her to help her out, and then she ended up being cancer-free, and frankly, we just like being here to help her. We help her financially, we help her, if she needs to lift things and stuff. So, I mean, we all help each other out, and it's a big place, so, I mean, it's not like there's not enough room, and we're good. I don't know if anyone ever has any, questions, or even if you want to share your own stories or something, feel free to message me or whatever. Just let me know, because I have no problem posting other people's things, as long as I have permission and stuff, As I don't mind sharing stories. I'm here to help people. I'm here to, whether it's with humor, whether it's with, moral support. And by no means a therapist, but I can still at least be here to lend a supporting ear. So, anyway, yeah. I'll see you all in the next video, whatever one that's going to be. Probably another exposure therapy one, because now I'm, pumped. I so want to drive again. I'm dying. So, yeah. See you soon.